From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
American Door Company has been family owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
All right, so we've been getting some great feedback numbers coming in from the Roku and Amazon Fire TV. So far, over 5,000 of you have downloaded the Roku app. Thank you so much. I know it's a fun and a great resource because it's not just weather. You got some great programming on there, such as a Turtle Bay segment here called Wonderful World of Animals, Pet of the Week. We've also got kind of in the works is an agriculture segment, also some educational segments about being a pet owner. So just a lot of great resources on there. And if you want to check out the 24-hour streaming channel, now you can do that by going to weathernorcal.com. You can also do it by going to YouTube and just subscribing to the YouTube channel for Weather NorCal. Or if you want to watch it from your TV, which you can do while you're watching YouTube if you have a smart TV, if you want to watch it from your Roku or your Amazon Fire TV, you can do that. Just download the app for free. Now, it's coming soon to Apple TV. It's in the works. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it is hopefully in the works here soon. But at least we still have these great resources here. Check it out. I mean, because again, you also, while that programming is going on, you get all of this live information right here. The latest 7-day forecast and those latest current conditions for 10 different locations as well. All right, let's get to the forecast now, shall we? Dry and mild through Saturday. Showers and the snow will return Sunday, probably as early as Saturday night, actually, for many of us. And then by Sunday, that wet weather pattern kicks on in. Now, snow levels, I think, are initially going to start off fairly high. It's still a little tricky as far as how low those snow levels will get, but I do anticipate that they will drop as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. Just how low they'll get, still a bit of a question mark, but we'll talk about that in more detail here in a second. Here's what it looks like here as we take you overnight and into tomorrow morning. I think we'll be looking at more fog along the coast. We saw that this morning. I think we'll be looking at it again as we go into tomorrow morning. Some patchy inland and even some mountain valley fog in there as well, but not warming up a whole lot. In fact, not much change in those overall temperatures here for tomorrow. You can see tonight it is getting cold. Even early in the morning hours for the valley could drop down to the mid-30s, maybe even some patchy frost in some areas, but we've got to get enough clearing out there for that to happen. Temperature is quite cold in Siskiyou and Modoc County, and not to mention in the eastern mountains in particular. So we got this big batch of moisture off to the west. This low pressure system here is what's going to be swinging down to the south and eventually having an impact on our weather, but not until Saturday evening, Saturday night. So it's dry today through all day Saturday, even the coast. But by Saturday late afternoon, early evening, we begin to see that potential for some rain moving in. Saturday night into Sunday, it kicks on in. But watch what I want you to notice here. Here we are Sunday. Now notice the rain that's over pretty much all of California. Now you have to go up pretty high, 8,000 feet. But for the spine of the Sierra, we're looking at a decent chance for seeing some snow out of this, right? But again, very high elevations. We're not seeing a lot of blue on the map here as we head closer to Northern California. Snow levels probably above 6,000 feet. Rain snow mix possibly as early as Sunday for the Mount Shasta Ski Park. That's at 5,500 feet, at least at the base. So it may start off at those lower elevations with kind of some rain, but eventually snow levels will start to slowly drop, especially by Tuesday. Notice even on Monday, we're not seeing a lot of blue on the map, again indicating fairly high snow levels. Now, I think this particular forecast model might be overdoing it on just how low these snow levels will get. So when we look at the 7-day forecast, I'll kind of talk a bit more detail on how this might be overdoing it a bit. And I quite honestly may have overdone it a little bit here as far as just how low these snow levels could get. I think that on average, we could be looking at those snow levels by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, around 4,000 feet across the board, give or take. Higher as you head to the east, maybe a little bit lower as you start heading off to the north here and to the west. Okay, now we go into Wednesday. Once again, we're seeing kind of another round of showers kicking in, and then by Thursday, it's all pretty much gone at this point. So let's take a look at the rainfall outlook at least through Tuesday to kind of give you an idea. These totals, quite honestly, may be a bit high, but I do think we'll get some fairly decent rainfall amounts. So most of it will be kind of actually looks like down to the south and west, down to southern Humboldt County as you head eastward. I mean, even we're not seeing a very big spread in the overall amounts from the coast to the inland areas and even the valley. So I do expect that across the board, many of us will see some decent amounts of rainfall. We'll probably see less, though, as you head off to the north and west. So Modoc County, unfortunately, may just not get as much rainfall, and not to mention snow out of this, as well as the eastern mountains. So Susanville, I don't think you're going to see a ton of rain, as well as Alturas. Mount Shasta City, yeah, probably some decent amounts, probably some decent amounts for parts of the valley, and of course heading westward as well. So we look at the precipitation outlook, and I'm just showing you this for the sake of, yes, the models are picking up at the potential of seeing above normal rainfall, especially as you head to the south from December 21st. So starting December 21st, through a couple of days past Christmas. Now, the temperature outlook also showing that it will actually be above normal. Now, keep in mind, this is not a massive heat wave. We're not going to be looking at temperatures in the 70s or 80s. I mean, you look at this and it just looks warm. It feels warm. Well, no, the normal high for this time of the year is still cool. We'll just be looking at temperatures slightly above that. So that, again, is one of the indications of why we do expect to see some fairly high snow levels, even in the extended range here. Wave heights are expected to increase for your Thursday. That's because that disturbance is approaching. It's breaking apart. It's not going to bring us any rainfall, but it will bring us some higher wave heights for Thursday. Now, as we take you into your Friday, it doesn't look like they're going to get much better. In fact, they may even get a little bit higher into your Friday. South winds at 5 to 10 knots here for your marine forecast tomorrow. Waves from the west at 7 feet at 15 seconds, and no advisories at this point. All right, let's take a look at your forecast for tonight. It is getting downright cold. We could see some patchy frost for some of us in the valley, but mid to upper 30s. We've got 20s and 30s for the eastern mountains, probably more like the 30s for Siskiyou County. 30s for Trinity County. Looks like low 40s. It depends on how much fog we see. If you don't see the fog in your area inland, I think it'll drop down to the 30s. But if you've got the fog, if that fog sticks around, you're going to be much more mild. That's going to be the case here for the coast, as you can see here in the low 40s there. Tomorrow, what I'm expecting here, yeah, more sunshine, temperatures low to mid 60s here for the valley, and you can see still cool in the eastern mountains, mainly in the 40s, up to about 50, for Alturas, not to mention the Aden area as well. But for Siskiyou County, probably in the low 50s. But there you can see for Trinity County, mid to upper 50s. That's also the case for the inland areas, and mainly low 60s out along the coast. So looking at your 7-day outlook, we're beginning to see that transition from the drier and warmer conditions to cooler and wetter conditions. Now, again, I want to stress, snow levels will be highest on Sunday and Monday. This is when I expect to see more rain-snow mixes for many, or mainly rain, for many of the higher elevation communities. By Tuesday, I think we're going to see better potential for at the very least, a rain-snow mix for many of those higher mountain locations. So, for example, Mount Shasta City, honestly, that might be overdoing it. Maybe around 4,000 feet, though, as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday. You're looking at the potential for a rain-snow mix. The Shasta Ski Park, probably all in the form of snow by the time you get up to about 5,500 feet, right? Alturas, yeah, maybe a rain-snow mix for Tuesday, Wednesday, and that could be the case here for Susanville as well. Now, of course, no snow in the valley. Wouldn't that be fun, though? But we're still talking about rain here. Sunday, the showers, and off and on chances for showers pretty much through Wednesday of next week. Now, this is not going to be a washout by any stretch, but when we are seeing those off and on rain showers, it eventually adds up over time. There you can see your 7-day outlook for the coast. Showers coming in probably late in the day, probably closer to the evening hours for your Saturday for both inland and coast, but should stay dry even into the evening hours for Weaverville and Trinity County in general. But by Sunday, that off and on chance for rain kicks in all the way through next Wednesday.